It's Tuesday and it's a holiday. And welcome to Geek Squad on Joy 99.7 FM. We're still the show that breaks down technology and brings it closer to home. So today we're talking about artificial intelligence and healthcare. I know a lot of people have heard about artificial intelligence and don't know what it's about, but today we will, throw some light on the subject, but in relation to healthcare. Would you, but for any reason, trust your healthcare into the hands of an artificially intelligent robot, if I should put it that way, or a computer? A UK company called Babylon Health is testing an artificially intelligent medical chatbot in Rwanda. A patient types in their symptoms into the chatbot, and then it suggests what needs to be done. But some of these suggestions that the tech can beat general practitioners like doctors at a medical exam have caused controversy. And, well, we're here to have that conversation and find out if it's basically something you would do. Would you subscribe to it? Is it the future? And are we ready? With me to have this conversation is Winston Wuche.
What's up?
And Joshua. He's an entrepreneur and he's been dealing with AI and machine learning capabilities. So he'll be throwing some light on AI on his part. And then we have a doctor, not just any ordinary doctor, a tech-savvy doctor. Not just any tech-savvy doctor, a doctor who has an app called Safe Doctor. And Dr. Amegletor, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
So, AI. Josh, I'm going to throw this straight out to you. What is AI in simple terms for those listening to us?
All right. So before we dive into AI, I also like to thank our listeners for listening to what we're doing here, and then thank the organization for what they also bring into Ghanaians. I think it's something great that it should be happening frequently. Today I'm going to change my position. I would like to be referred to as AI evangelist because I like to evangelize on artificial intelligence. AI is the future of technology. I think we should also embrace it and then leverage on it to solve the problems we're having. So when we talk about AI or artificial intelligence, it's nothing strange. It's the ability to build systems or program software to be able to do stuff on their own based on the patterns or the models or the information we feed into it. So let's say if we feed all our health issues, all the same things and their prescriptions to a machine, it can diagnose a patient and then tell what is wrong with the patient and even prescribe medicines to the patient without necessarily going to see a doctor. So that's what AI could be able to achieve in the healthcare industry.
Doctor, you're a doctor. Will you advise us to take advice from a computer that has been fed information over, say, a period of, say, 5 years to be able to actually give a diagnosis? Or would you rather say, okay, they should just listen to its recommendation but still see a GP?
Well, it's a complicated matter, We are dealing with human beings, and human beings, we like what we are used to. We are used to see the doctor, a person whom we have relationships with. And now when you ask people to now talk to an inanimate object, it becomes a bit difficult. But as the earlier speaker said, is the way to go, because especially in our part of the world, we don't have any other option, because it enables us. We have inadequate healthcare personnel. They are not well spread out there. Most of us are in Accra and Kumasi, or the big cities. So basically, the rural areas also deserve good healthcare. Right. And if these machines will be a computer can be able to generate that information, what we could then do just with a nurse in that CHIPS compound, you could be able to treat relatively complicated cases that will not require them coming to Kwalebu or Komfo Anokye to clog up those centers. So it's something that we need to really look at. We
Okay.
really need to look at.
Sure.
I would
So,
like
Josh,
to touch on what Doc said.
Yeah.
He made mention of, from his perspective, because he's a medical person.
Practitioner,
So I also think the data that get fed to the AI is not from any tech person. It's from the best of doctors.
Right.
So it's not like a fake information or assumption. It's the best of knowledge that have been compiled, that have been working and been put into practice for years. But this time we want to democratize it. Instead of seeing one person for that information, it's accessible to everyone, wherever you are.
Winston, will you trust your health in the hands of a computer?
Of course. I'm an AI advocate as well.
Okay.
And it makes sense because AI using machine learning and deep learning, it sees multiple trends that the average doctor will not be able to see because it's computing large data sets. Like the keynote IO for Google this year, they talked about how it was used to detect diabetic retinopathy, where some form of diabetes affects your eyesight. And it was doing exceptionally well because the doctors had to go through these data sets themselves. They had to look at the pictures one by one before they gave out their decisions. And even in giving their decisions, there was always situations where there was reduced precision. But it's a computer. You fed it with an algorithm. You've told it what to do. You've told it how to discern these things. Its accuracy and precision would supersede any human being.
So, Doc,
I would want to just add to
Sure.
what he said. I think, yes, when it comes to accuracy, I think the computer will have an edge. Definitely, because you see, human beings, our ability to process information is relatively limited compared to the computer. The only challenge comes in with, people go in to see their doctor. Sometimes, in my practice, I've had patients who come in. Sometimes you get the feeling that the person just wants to talk. Another person whom they can connect with. So that is where the machine will be having some disadvantage. But in terms of efficiency, I think the machine will be the human.
Okay, so the question now is, will it put some people out of jobs? For instance, let's say in Ghana, we have a situation where, like you were mentioning, there's lack of doctors because we're in the capital cities and then the rural areas are suffering. So say we push AI and AI gets to the place where now it's capable of solving 90% of basic illnesses. And then we decide that, okay, we don't need as many doctors in the hospital anymore, or nurses, as a matter of fact, because now you just come and it's like a small computer. You press a few buttons and it tells you, okay, your symptom is malaria. You put in a blood sample, it tests and it tells you, okay, it's malaria, and then it gives you medicine. Like, it's just like a small kiosk where no one actually has to go to the hospital again. Do you foresee something like that happening?
Yeah, definitely. Technology will come with some job losses, but it depends on how we manage it, because the machines cannot operate on their own.
Right.
They still need human intervention
And supervision.
So it will require some level of specialization in terms of how we position ourselves. So that's why sometimes it's good we anticipate them and then we plan how we position ourselves effectively to be able to work with the machine. The machines coming is inevitable, really. So we don't have a choice in the matter. The matter is, how do we prepare ourselves to be able to work with the
them.
machines?
Another school of thought. Josh, okay.
Okay, so on the question you just asked, I want us to come to our real life situation. We used to have herbalists or herbal doctors. Then we came up with hospital.
The herbal doctors are still there, it's just that now they've upgraded.
So you see how the trend is going now. And the whole beauty of hospital is even serving more than the herbal hospital or the herbalist. So I think it's not just eliminating or taking someone's job, but being able to prioritize or leverage on technology to save more lives. Because imagine we have all these personalities and still we are losing lives, and then leveraging on technology can save all these lives and then still create more jobs. I don't think it's a threat. It's a matter of positioning the technology where it really belongs and where it fits in our life, and then leveraging on it.
Right. Winston.
With the job losses, I feel like it's going to happen. Because I feel like doctors who, let me be honest, I feel like general practitioners are those who would feel that impact the most, because the computer is just going to detect whatever or diagnose whatever it is, and then that's what most general practitioners do. They sit down and then you come, you tell them. As about the human element, I feel like there are a lot more people over the years that trust basically even their smartphones more than a doctor. For instance, when someone's sick, most people would definitely just put it into Google. Like, they'll just drop their symptoms in. And some people feel like going to the doctor, there's this judgment. Like, it's we are human beings. Like, it could vary. Some people, like you said, would just want someone to talk to. So when it comes to the job losses, general practitioners, I feel, will be affected. As for the specialists, you're cool, because the program needs you, because you are the ones who are actively researching and doing this. But jobs, general practitioners,
Doc, Winston mentioned people who Google their symptoms. And so this is an opportunity for you to tell us why they should stop doing this and rather move to Safe Doctor, the app.
Well, I will not say people should stop Googling. I think my doctors whom I work with in my facility, we had a meeting. We said, look, now our clients now are very much aware, because before they come to the hospital, they've Googled, they've read about the symptoms, they have some things in their minds already. But you see, there again, that's why I said the human becomes indispensable. They will read from the machine, the Google and everything, and they seem to know, be sure, almost sure, and most of the time they are right about what it is. But the fact is that they need a doctor to validate that information from them. So it's still there. They still will need the human intervention, definitely.
Okay. So another school of thought, people are worried, hey, computers don't have feelings. So I come to the hospital and then I meet, say, a robot. And then this robot, I'm screaming in pain, and the robot doesn't really understand how much pain I'm in. Sure. It doesn't know how deep the needle of the injection should go before I start yelling for my dear life. So that amount of empathy is non-existent in computers, so they claim. But then, we know that you can program certain emotions, by certain triggers to know that, by this amount of screaming, it means the person is in a lot of pain. But then, it also boils down to the point that computers don't have feelings. Josh, and you are an AI evangelist. What's the gray area here? Like, how can we guarantee that the computers will be able to deal with someone who's in a lot of pain versus someone who is not even expressing how much pain they are in, and they are actually in serious trouble? There'll be that time where two people will come, someone is screaming, and the other is not really screaming, but then the one who's not screaming is the one that needs more help. But then because you're judging by the amount of screaming, you end up taking care of the one who's screaming and then leave. So how would you fix that if you're an AI developer?
So when it comes to empathy, it also boils down to the AI. Some AI can be built to feel that. So we have computer vision. They can study they have computer vision to detect liars and then people who also do other things. So the same way, they can build the same AI to also study human behavior and attitude and your situation, emotion, understand what you're going through. And that's the beauty of AI. It does everything in a split second. So it's able to even do not just for you. So if you have 1,000 patients all having different situations, it's able to predict and then know what exactly is happening to everybody at that same point of time. So imagine there's an accident. There's no doctor there, and there's a machine which can know the mood, know how many bones were broken at that instant, and a report to the doctor. Before the patient gets to the hospital, the doctor already knows what is happening to the patient. Then they just fix it. So I keep saying AI is not necessary to replace anybody, but we're leveraging on AI to save a lot of life.
All right.
Because a second can save a life, and a second you can lose a life. So if we can leverage on technology to save a life every second, why shouldn't we take it? That's my point. Why shouldn't we take it?
Winston.
Now, the interesting thing about AI is that it's built off of machine learning, which is built off of deep learning and neural networks. And neural networks are a computational system which is based on the way humans analyze situations. So you see certain things, and then your mind tells you that it could be A, B, C. So you can program a computer or a machine to see that, if this person's eyes are twitching or the veins in his temples or something is showing, they will be able to tell that, this person's probably in pain. Maybe like you said, the other person is screaming, so they are using the decibels that, if it goes past this point, you are in trouble. But there are far more interesting ways you can program a computer to figure out pain.
Doc, is there anything that a computer can do is there anything that a human can do, that a computer can't do?
Sure, a lot. Yes, a lot. If you're a doctor, even the way the patient walks into your consulting room tells a whole lot of things about what you are looking for.
Right.
What is probably wrong with that person. But a computer, yes, it could be taught so many things, but its ability to discern on its own, even though with AI now they are learning. The new AI that I think is the neural network when I read something small, they are able to learn things as they go on, but still it will lack that thing. But if you are sick, you want empathy. It's very important. If you are sick and they tell you, you get very angry because you are sick. You expect people to treat you gently. And you will not get. The machine is impersonal. It's just telling you what is wrong with you. Imagine you go the machine, you have cancer. How does the machine tell it to you?
you have cancer.
You have cancer. But you see, the human being will have a way of maybe going about it, breaking the news to you in a way that so. Yes, the computers are important. The machine AI is important, but I think they are best working with human beings. Human beings being in control, because at the end of the day, too, it will depend on the information that is fed
to it.
So if the human beings give it error, if you give wrong information, it's going to prescribe wrong
medicine for you.
Okay.
Winston,
I have a question for Doc. So with the general practitioners, that I feel like they're the ones who are going to get it. So do you think that psychologists will take their place? Like you were talking about people breaking it down easily to human affection and stuff. I feel like psychologists would be about the best. So do you think there would be an upsurge in psychologists, or would they be best to fill that role?
Yeah, already we need a lot of them now, because right now, even though I am playing, I don't know, the devil's advocate about the role of the doctors, but already in our society we are depersonalized.
Yeah.
You go out with friends to a place to go and have fun, you see that everybody is on their phone. So that is the way. Already we don't talk to, we are losing that human touch amongst ourselves. So increasingly the computer will be able to almost replace that without even probably even really knowing that we've lost our human touch. Yeah.
So Josh, before you come in Ghana, where we have a huge problem with even collecting data, we can't take advantage of AI without data. AI relies on data. This thing that Babylon did, in Rwanda, and all this time that Babylon has been experimenting with, is they've used 5 years of data. And from this 5 years of data, they were able to beat GPs, up to about 80% of a success rate in predicting, or is it in diagnosing diseases. In Ghana, back to our country, where we don't even collect data. We don't even know how many people have been infected with malaria in the past 5 years. Even if we do, it's not accurate. As an AI evangelist, how are you looking to solve this problem of data collection?
It's a very big challenge in Africa, or Ghana, for me to say. But we will have to start from somewhere if we wish to get to where we are looking at in the future. And I believe most of the healthcare centers here in Ghana, at least they have some data available over the years. It wouldn't be decentralized though, but we can put all these pieces together, like all malaria cases they have in the hospital, all cholera, all HIV, all those data. I believe they have it, whether manual or digital. So we can start from there and then put them into digital, and then build models on them, and then keep on adding the data as they come. And trust me, if you're able to do that now, the next 5 years, we can have what we're talking about now.
Great. So, before we start taking your calls, I would like to acknowledge that this show is brought to you by Safe Doctor. You can download the Safe Doctor app now from the Google Play Store. Safe Doctor is with a K, SAFEDOKTOR, the future of better medical care. So if you want to call us, the number is 0302-216-541. And if you want to send us a WhatsApp, it's 0244340437. The topic today is artificial intelligence and healthcare. Would you trust your healthcare into the hands of a computer or a robot? So we have a first comment on WhatsApp. I will trust my computer over our healthcare system any day. Most nurses in Ghana are students who failed to get into the university. Also, the doctor-to-patient ratio in Ghana is completely unbalanced. Hence, most doctors work under intense pressure and always make errors. The computer can handle any pressure and responds more effectively to any health issue. My 2 cents. So, this from there's a WhatsApp message. Doc, he says, nurses are graduates who didn't make it to the university, so then they branched into nursing. Is that true?
That one I will respectfully
decline to answer.
Disagree.
I understand. And so another comment. Hi, this is Positive Pandora. AI can do most of the jobs, a doctor or physician, etc. But let's face the fact that AI cannot fully replace human beings, no matter how well you code an AI. It cannot fully process emotions as good as a human doctor or medical personnel will. But to me, I would not leave my brain open with an AI to operate on. That's from Positive Pandora's Box. Pandora, I understand. I mean, but there's a case, there have been cases where doctors have left, scissors and stuff in people. And they get off the surgical table and you go and you're having some complications, and later you find out that, there's a scissors in you. There's a pair of scissors in you. So, I mean, at the end of the day, Josh, you wanted to say something.
I want to comment on what you're saying. He said he will never let AI operate on him.
Yeah.
You see, I also want to ask a question. Why do people travel outside for better healthcare? What did they think is there? Is the machines? It's the technology they have there. That's why they travel
and
there.
Experience.
The experience is, I think, the best doctor is someone who uses the best technology to solve the most challenging problem.
But I've seen doctors who have used little to no technology to solve some problems, and it's amazing.
In Ghana?
Yes, in Ghana.
Yeah.
Ghana,
They actually perform a lot of magic here.
Imagine they have AI in addition. What they could do.
Okay, so that means that he's saying he wouldn't trust his health 100% into the hands of an AI.
That makes sense.
So imagine that
dead in life, and your only chance is AI. You have to decide what you want.
Somebody might just say, you know what, I'll take the death pill.
I would want to agree in some way. You see, when it comes to the human being, even though the AI will learn about like the brain, this is the way it is, a normal brain looks like. But everybody is different. The normal human being, we have our hearts on the left side, but there are few people who have it on the right side. So you take the AI is going to perform surgery, it's going to go on your left side.
No, it wouldn't. AI will never do that.
I mean, if they have the medical history of the person.
No, it will even first scan the body. There's VR, you can scan a human body. The invention of X-ray, you think doctors could see what is behind the human body with that X-ray? I mean,
the thing with AI is that it is programmed.
Yeah.
So when it goes in there and it meets something that is not being programmed or taught or knows, but the human being,
so
the advantage of the human being is he's versatile. That's the thing about the human
So Josh, like Doc is saying, you've programmed the AI up to a certain level. Let's take, for instance, a situation where something unexpected, like you didn't imagine, that people born with certain defects, and that person's never been sick, so the person hasn't gone to the hospital, you don't have any records of the person. The AI knows of certain, and some of these defects could happen to 1 in a million people, and that person comes to lie down on the table, and this robot's supposed to operate on the person without any prior medical history. That's whichever scans they check out. But the AI doesn't know that maybe when I cut the person will bleed twice as fast as a normal human
That's
being.
the beauty of AI.
That's the beauty. I wouldn't
Because
risk.
the AI himself is a learning tool. So doctor, for instance, if he hasn't operated on such a patient before, doctor will have no knowledge.
So
AI
it's the
will
same
learn
thing.
from the same process. Doctor can learn at that moment.
So
AI will learn to fix that.
the speed of learning is where that
that's
comes
where
in.
it comes in.
You're very, very trusting of this AI. Winston, are you also trusting that much?
I mean,
Okay.
I feel like definitely you would have to have someone there. But like you said, the AI is actually quite adept at. It's quite versatile because it has databases at its disposal. So in a split second, it can access.
A billion data.
But if them quench lights,
Yeah, and in Ghana, for instance, where you know
Now, if
rebooting
you're
and
how can
things.
a doctor work with no light too as well?
Ah, you haven't seen them
Oh, they
perform
do it.
surgeries with touchlights.
If this is
There's still
torchlight or
light.
flashlight.
They do
There's still
What
light.
you know? So that means you have to also program into your AI in case of light off. Reach
Yeah,
into
what's
your tool pack, pick your touchlight.
And I keep saying we are not eliminating doctor. We are leveraging on technology.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think the thing is that working together.
Yeah.
Yes, because definitely the AI also. The idea is that it will definitely need human intervention. Not just maybe it will not need as many humans, but it also need some humans.
I want to comment on this. There'll be recent development.
Mhm.
You know, humans when we grow beyond 50 years, we go blind. We our eyes have issues. Now they are building connects and lenses which can make you see like you're in your teenage age.
Mhm.
I mean, would you choose to go blind because you are growing older, or you adapt technology to see like a kid? These are some of the questions we have to ask ourselves. It's not replacing anybody. It's not taking anyone's job.
It's just helping.
It's just helping us to
assisting
do
us
more.
Okay.
Human life has weakness and limits, but if you can use technology to still gain some of these strengths that we have at an early age, I think it's something we should try.
Okay, so we have a call on the line. The caller is our very own Kweku Anansi. Hello, Kweku Anansi.
Hello, Spiky.
Yeah. Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you have some submissions. I know yours is from a security perspective.
Well, first, let me say good evening, Josh. And, it's been a while since I saw him. Well,
Right.
I can say that in the, let's say, hacking world, or let's say, this world of theft, doctor, this medical details, they are the most expensive.
The medical records.
Yeah, they are the most expensive now, as I talk now. And,
Why? Why are
putting
they
all these
expensive?
records- What?
Why are medical records expensive?
Well, no, they are being used a lot because almost all medical records include your social security number, your mother maiden names, all the most critical credit card
That's a
details
lie.
that are really needed. So when they are able to get those details, adding a credit card number to your details to extract money is very, very easy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yours
So
is
the
that
medical
it's not
details.
secure to keep our medical records out there. It's not safe to keep our medical records out there.
Well, it's very, very safe. It's very safe now because most of the medical records are, kept inside the, deep web. Places where the addresses of the medical records and so on are not indexed at all, and no one can have access to them at all. Yeah.
So
But,
your
on
point
rare
basically
occasions,
is
these
that
things do happen, and then they get stolen.
So
So I'm wondering if they get stolen. Yeah.
okay, you're wondering if they get stolen.
Yep.
Okay, right. Thank you very much for calling, Kweku Anansi. Today you played by our rules. Thank you very much.
You too.
All right. So, joining us in the studio is Nino Sedwa, and he's our resident. He's our resident,
I'm just a clinical psychologist.
Okay, he's just a clinical
To make you
psychologist.
resident, then you have to add some conditions of service to it.
Well, Winston, you were mentioning a psychologist, and now we have a psychologist here.
Yes.
So, you've been
Let's call
listening
me
to Mr. Naughty. You've been listening to the conversation.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Somewhat skewed, but still positive. You see, when you're talking about applications or adjuncts, and then you ask a dichotomous black and white question, can it replace, should it replace? Of course, it triggers debate and contention, but really I don't think that's the essence of AI. Listen, when you give a system human attributes. You say it can think for itself.
Yeah.
You see, you're programming with algorithms and you're saying over and above these algorithms, the system can now generate its own. That's machine learning.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm on your page now.
Yes.
That is machine learning. And it comes with its dangers, risks, and its potential and advantages and opportunities. Right? I've been hearing the advantages and so on. Let's look at a system that decides that it's paying people insurance benefits, claims. And it makes one mistake and doles out a lot of money, right? Because it read something, it saw a trend and a pattern, and boom, it did that. So just like, I think this is the doctor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? I think I should know you. Right? So this is the thing we're talking about. It thinks for itself. An algorithm is a set of instructions. So instead of a programmer, you just set this thing to go by itself.
Yeah.
So it detects a certain pattern, a certain trends. What's the WHO definition of health, right? It's not just merely the absence of disease. So if you're dealing strictly and specifically with the biomedical model, which says that disease, illness is caused by a pathogen, an agent, identify the agent and what it does, and then deal with that. But we've gone beyond that, right?
Yeah.
Disease involves even the person's perception of illness, how they report it, and so on and so forth. Okay? Years back, somebody called me and said they sent a text message first. Sorry we never met, but I'm just informing you that I managed to finally do something successful with my life. So I felt, who's this who's perhaps passed the course? I didn't go, one of my students or whatever. This person had actually gone to a veterinary shop or whatever, pet shop, bought chemicals used to bath cows and other things, drank it, and this was a suicide attempt.
Wow.
So whilst I was sitting there, then I called the number back. And the person seemed to be struggling to speak. So I realized who it was. And the person likes joking with me. I've never met her. Somebody asked me to help her years back. But I said, you have a cough or a cold? She said, no. Then I jokingly said, then if you have one, it will be terrible. Right? And she was still playing along with me. She'd taken the medication, was waiting to die. So in talking to her, I felt something was wrong. Then she told me what she had done. But she insisted, I don't want you to come and save me. I'm tired of life. Right? But I persisted, used some strategies and so on and so forth. And she gave me a direction. That person is alive today. Right? Now, if I was some AI contraption, there are certain scenarios and things I'll miss.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're even going to farm out certain functions to AI, you've got to be very careful. Recently, just last year, I sat on a very serious committee of investigation into medical malpractice. And we had to go through ward notes, doctor's notes, surgery notes, and so on and so forth. And you could see how you could align this. Of course, the computer could do that. But certain determinations, I'm sure Doc will tell you, right? You will still need the human interface, right? When a doctor makes a mistake, the track of transparency and accountability is clear. When an AI has gone its own way and it continues to do that, and it's telling you, and you are saying this is machine learning, it's thinking for itself. So it decides that this is a trend and I have intervened in this way. And when I intervene, it's just like people tell me, look, you're on Truecaller as this. I said, really? It's not me, right? But Truecaller also pools data, the big data thing that you guys, the geeks, talk about, pools data and decides that somebody might have saved this as this. You're also not Edward, therefore you are this. So let's be careful, right? A couple of years ago, I remember One Touch, then now Vodafone, was interested in e-health. And they had this call center at the Ghana House. And they wanted to get into this because there are systems in Canada and things. That's e-health, right? It's just shortening this consultation process and making sure. We in Ghana, I was also part of a team that tried to mimic what we call NHS Direct in the UK. What it meant was we'll have a call center with qualified personnel who can now, whether it's to do with drugs or your condition and so on, it's an interface. But as soon as you want to wholesale replace, then you've got to be careful. Where there are problems, and recently an Uber car, self-drive car killed somebody. It failed to identify, but somebody will come and tell you and tout AI. It thinks for itself. And I'm saying an algorithm is a set of instructions, right? Once it now generates its own set, free of a programmer or free of a doctor, qualified, trained, then you've got questions to answer. So until you answer those questions properly, you're looking at some certain principles. And I heard efficiency a lot when I was driving here, right? Efficiency doesn't replace everything. You can do the right thing, right? And you can do things right, right? They're two different things. So you've got to look at it, right? There are certain things which are clinical. There are certain things which are legal. There are certain things which are ethical or moral. Sure. And health and health delivery involves and entails all of that. So it's about factoring all this into it, not saying all the technical guys, all the AI advocates in the studio are saying or wrapping loose. But there's an interface that they've got to put into it. And that is why wholesale, even with the huge advancements in technology, it hasn't been adopted wholesale, right? Even the Babylon thing you mentioned, the UK thing, they are piloting. Yeah. Right? They are piloting because there's so many questions you've got to answer. And when you unleash it, especially when you talk of numbers, so we can maximize distribution and access using AI. Definitely for certain things. For other things, no. You see, for other things, you've got to be very careful. And I think this is Dr. Yes, Safe Doctor. What is he doing? He's pairing you with and putting you in touch with
a physical doctor,
right? A physical facility, a doctor, a lab, and so on and so forth. Okay, AI, which we're talking about, is over and above that, but he's still harnessing technology, right? We have a very well-equipped trauma center in Winneba. A doctor can sit somewhere, you do your X-ray or your MRI, he sees it on a screen. It doesn't even have to be there. Sure. Right. So we can harness technology, but when we are speaking specifically of AI, there are certain cautions that we need, and I think there's an AI international thing, and they've got certain guiding principles and ethics that have to be followed.
So if you're listening to us, you can call us on 0302 216 541. You can send us a WhatsApp on 0244340437. You heard the voice of Mr. Nortedwa. He's a clinical psychologist, and he has been educating us on how AI is not everything, Winston and Joshua. So, I mean, leveraging on what he's saying, before I get to that, let me read some WhatsApp messages. So, doctors are trained to think and interpret based on available information and even think in exceptions. AI will be stuck when its iterations can't see the mathematical impossibility in its formulae. We can't eliminate the doctors because AI will miss the exceptions. Prodeo from Leeds, England.
Yeah, just to also add what Doc said, then there is also the issue about responsibility
and accountability.
If the AI makes a mistake, who do you hold accountable? If the doctor makes a mistake, you can sue him. But
or the hospital.
Or the hospital.
So if the AI makes a mistake in the hospital that's working, we'll sue the hospital for the mistake the AI made.
That's why I said there's a difference and a distinction between clinical, legal, moral, ethical. Look, a couple of years back, if I was teaching, homosexuality was a paraphilia, right? It's an abnormality. Now, the diagnostic system has changed, and it's a preference. And you only have something to treat if the person has a problem with this. Okay, put that into AI, you see. And you've got a whole lot of things you've got to contend with, right? And again, you've got to be careful. Who are you licensing? Should we do away with licensing? Do you see? So you don't need a license. You just need to be good at pooling data and data mining and coming out with solutions.
So the AI should basically be seen as a tool.
A couple of years back, we had somebody say, I've gone to look at the Togolese electoral register, and I've used facial recognition to say that this number of them are Ghanaians. It was never proven, right? No political bias here. But I'm saying just facial recognition alone, you can find Notedua in several countries and say he's been there. Using that, if there's a glitch in that facial recognition or speech or voice recognition, okay, we see it in movies where somebody's fingerprint or somebody's retina, and then you use it to gain access to something. So this is what I'm asking people to at least consider. Nobody's saying we want to be backward. If there's technological advancement and doctors are doing all sorts of laser surgery and other things, that's great. But when you say artificial intelligence, right? Then we very soon will start cloning people. We don't need you behind the seat anymore.
At
A
all.
robot will run this program and it will be geek proper.
So, okay, so another message. We can't even give our people water, and we're talking about medicinal AI. We don't do research and serious learning, so our AI won't work properly. Josh, nurses from tech get like grade 6 and it's competitive. The sender does not know what he or she is talking about. Okay, this person is talking about the sender who says nurses are people who couldn't get into, into university. And then, so AI cannot fully be compared to human without human involvement. Even with the AI, it was programmed by humans and then allowed to feed in more data. You must understand that in the world of technology and on the aspect of security, AI will not always be secured and will be vulnerable to attacks. That's from Mauli. If you want to call us, the number again is 0302 216 541. So one more WhatsApp question. Okay, so while this is happening, Josh, I think a lot of people have thought about AI as replacing doctors, but then they're not focusing on the fact that it could actually help in certain fields. I mean, when I first got into building high, spec machines, it was because I've heard about something called protein folding. And because me contributing my computer power to a large pool of computers, we could help solve some medical, processes that required this proteins to be understood. Now we have the power of AI, and AI could be harnessed to do more protein folding and even predict this protein folding sequences than we were doing then. So why would we focus all our energy on, say, we want to replace GPs with AI? Sorry.
I keep on saying AI is not replacing, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
As Doctor said, with his knowledge, knowing the ethics and everything about the industry, having him on board to build an AI to solve some of the problems he solve every day, it's one of the beauty of AI. It's not just the engineer or the developer sitting somewhere to build it. It's the power of AI being utilized in any industry. So in the health industry, there will be the health company leveraging or employing these engineers, feeding them with the knowledge and experience or whatever information they have over the years, with the government regulations, with all the ethics, everything feeding into the system. So it's not going to be a system doing stuff on their own. It's a system doing stuff based on whatever we've programmed it to do, based on the regulation, ethics, morals, everything.
So you're also 100% AI cannot
but
replace.
we haven't gotten
the final decision will have to be with the doctor, the human.
Okay.
Because the AI, remember, it can decide to become renegade.
Yeah.
When it decides not to take instructions, it will, because you programmed it to think.
Spiky will have a program telling us, beware of this malware. It has corrupted the Ghana's AI, and therefore this is happening, right? These are realities, okay? And we need to look at them. Yeah. Even if you go on what is Tonaton or OLX, they'll tell you before you meet somebody and transact, right? Be sure.
Yeah, be sure.
Right? There are cautions that we look at. So again, this is the kind of hybrid situation we're looking at. But you've got to be able to maximize your benefits and minimize the error variance. All right? Yeah. If you've got a lot of error variance in there, sometimes you can see 2-3 different doctors or lawyers, they'll tell you different things. Right? Yeah. They'll tell you different things, same case. Right? Yeah. Or the constitutional lawyers, they'll tell you this is what the Constitution says. They'll go and battle. And then the Supreme panel or the Supreme Court will decide this is the interpretation. And sometimes we've come back to even look at Supreme Court pronunciations. So in this sense, I'm saying this is a machine. It pulls all data. It can Google per second. And it's got all the information, right? I'm sure you've Googled and read certain things that are leading in a totally different direction. This now has access to all that, and it will give you a best scenario and base its decision and judgment and intervention, here clinical intervention, on that. Right. So that is, I remember flying to South Africa, and they told us the weather was bad and therefore the plane will land itself. It will be whatever. I said, all right, I'm already on board. Okay,
so you have no choice.
There's a trust in the system, and maybe with those functions, yes, maybe a machine might be more efficient. But anytime you see a study that is touting superior efficiency, look at the methodology, right? The one you're talking about, they talked about 60 to 80%, a 20% variance between humans and the AI, right? What are the specific methodological, parameters which gave you that? What if I gave you a study which says humans are superior? I'm a psychologist, right? For certain things, I may be treating alongside a psychiatrist who might favor pharmacological intervention, right? And they'll show you that people tend to adhere to my type of care and stay compliant longer than they will to medication, and so on and so forth, right? But they'll also show you that the combination of medication and what I do is also this, right? So one has to look at and weigh all of these things before, you make a carte blanche kind of, determination. And that's why I feel maybe the way the question is put, would you trust a robot? Right? Okay. It generates the debate. Yeah. But there are big things in there that we have to look at. Sure. Right? Even now, in terms of insurance and other things, I don't know whether you've watched, is it John what? It's Denzel Washington, where insurance and they wouldn't pay for his child's operation.
Yes.
Yeah, right? If you don't write certain things in your patient's folder, an insurance company will not pay for it. So in other parts of the world, doctors and other people have learned to now write more of those things so that they get paid, right?
Cool.
So somebody can also fix the AI such that it's this way and then it boosts something else.
Hello, caller. Hello.
Yep. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me? Yes. Hi, welcome to the show.
Very good. Hello, welcome. Hello to everyone.
Hi.
Good. So I just wanted to add a few thoughts to the discussion.
Right.
So I think, so maybe two things from my end, right? I think the first one is, I think as we think about AI, I think we should look at it more in terms of possibilities and what we can actually do with it versus from a perspective of fear and, what if this happens or what if that happens. My perspective is, AI is almost like smartphones or internet when the World Wide Web when it started, right?
Right.
It's the way forward, right? Whether we are cautious, we are not cautious. In 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, things are going to be very different, and AI is the way forward, right? So I think for me, the conversation is around, given the trend that is coming, how do we leverage it best? And as I think about the conversation, right, I think if you almost think of this as, on one end, impact of getting something wrong, right? And then also on another end, think of it as how difficult it is for human to do it. Right. You then kind of think of, probably get like three scenarios, right? There are a couple of things that I think, the impact of getting it is so low, that it's okay to actually have AI or AI capabilities, right, handle it. So something like prescription for malaria, prescription for headaches, something like that, right? And I think here's where we can actually start to think about what can AI do. There's another one which is, it's very easy, it's very difficult for humans to do it, but if you have AI to do it, the impact is maybe medium. And here maybe what AI does is it gives us what the prescription is, but you have somebody at the end who takes the prescription and reviews it before it kind of goes to the human, right? And I think here it's a lot more about efficiency so that the human doesn't have to do all of the analysis and all of the symptoms taking, etc., right? And then there's a bunch of stuff that are so complicated and the impact of getting it wrong is so huge that, we shouldn't even outsource it to AI at all, right? So I think instead of thinking of it as this is bad, this is dangerous, I think, if you start to think about what are the things that are not so critical that we can outsource and save a bit of time, I think then the conversation around possibilities changes the entire dialogue. So that's what I just wanted to add to the conversation.
Right. Thank you very much, Kweku, for calling. And we have another WhatsApp message. One question. Imagine AI in a psychiatric home when mentally deranged people need care. Can AI handle this? That's Ken from Legon. Can AI handle this? So, Kweku was talking about the possibilities. That was part of the conversation I was supposed to have. So, what possibilities? I mean, there's so many possibilities when you look elsewhere. But when you come here, what kind of possibilities do you see, Winston?
Now, I actually wanted to address a couple of things that was
Sure.
said. So when it comes to AI, what we define as AI now isn't really the fully actualized perception. It's supposed to be where it has full autonomy. Right now, it doesn't have autonomy. It's only given a set of instructions. So at the end of the day, no matter what, a human
Has to
factor
supervise it.
is in there. And even with those nuances, even with algorithms, you have fail safes so that if the algorithm, if it beats its set of protocols, it will do nothing, and that's when the human has to come in. Now, I mentioned that about the psychologist. I mentioned that it seems like the psychologist's jobs would increase because we could probably do away with general practitioners, but specialists cannot go anywhere. As to use in Ghana, now MIT is working on an AI program or a machine learning program to detect breast cancer earlier, because I've forgotten the name of the head of the research. She had breast cancer, and basically it uses the mammograms, and that's how the doctors also detect it. They look at the pictures, and using the pictures they're able to detect it. Now this program is able to detect and even predict far better than human. I think it was 86% as opposed to 70. But even when you watch the video about how it's done, at the end of the day there's a specialist there who is behind the machine. And when the machine says this, she reviews it and she pushes a button that signs it, that says, okay, this is cool. So right now we don't have a fully autonomous system. So I feel like I was saying, AI cannot fully replace everything. As for the psych ward, I don't think an AI is going to. I mean, if it's administering the drugs, cool. But yeah, the psychological
meaning
part.
you've been on a psych ward. Just in fairness, mental illness or mental health issues, everybody seems to view them from the extremes. Right? There are various categories, right? And there are lots of applications where you can do a lot of stuff. Even when you come to the physical, even pain management, there are behavioral programs we do using just what we call biofeedback, where a person actually manages their dose of painkillers. And research has shown that they use less. There's rational use of the medication as against even the prescriber, if you give the power to the patient. So there are lots of applications where we could come in there. And I'm glad the caller said it's not really a black and white dichotomous discussion. You see, when you put it that way, then people have to dig their heels in and I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. That's not the issue, right? Technology is welcome, but you have to know how you harness it. You remember when these seatbelt warnings came and people import cars from the US and other places, and it will not start if you don't have your seatbelt on. So they pass it back, round the back of the seat, and they still buckle and they can go. Right? The purpose is defeated. So efficiency, effectiveness, and other things. There are other indices we need to look at, right? It's good to be efficient, fine, but the other things we input into that, and then we get the best system for our people, and then be able to now replicate it. I've heard the Vice President talking about delivering medications with drones. We're now getting our GPRS and what is that?
Ghana
Post codes and things. There's a bit of a cacophony there, but we need these systems, and in other places these things are well mapped out, so they can quickly layer these systems on it and it works. So we need to start looking at that and not be too paranoid about it, the same way we're doing with the debate on GMO foods, right? Genetically modified, therefore trouble. But there's an argument for it and there's also an argument against it, but we need to look at the opportunities as well.
And I would just want to add, for now, I think the best area for AI now would be clinical decision support.
Right.
Clinical then management, because those are things which, the doctor has to cram a lot of information
into their head,
which the AI will be able to process faster. And then the human reviews it finally, and then he gives a go-ahead, or he might make alterations based on what.
All right.
Great. So before we leave you, I'm going to tell you once again about the telemedicine app that's called Safe Doctor, and allows you to consult with a doctor of your choice anytime, anywhere, and any place you're using your smartphone. Safe Doctor brings together doctors, hospitals, pharmacies, laboratories, and other healthcare service providers all on your phone. You can have real-time video consultation with a qualified doctor and not an AI, receive laboratory requests and prescriptions to partner labs and pharmacies. This provides convenience, savings in time and cost, and makes you the center of care. The Safe Doctor app also gives you access to a well-researched library of current medical issues, offers tips on first aid and access to their medical chat room. The medical records are also available on your phone in the event of an emergency. Reach Safe Doctor on 0302 909 746 or 055 832 4704. Visit www.softedgelimited.com. Facebook handle is Safe Doctor GH. Safe Doctor with a K. SAFEDOKTORGH for more details. Download Safe Doctor app from the Google Play Store and take control of your health. Safe Doctor, the future of better medical care. So our final message before we leave you: AI can be trusted with some things for now, but certainly not human life. Some things are for humans only. That's from St. Ben at OEB. So last 10 seconds from everyone, starting from Winston.
Well, I feel like with Safe Doctor, I feel like we can start with the data collection, because he keeps the data will be on your phone and everything. So we have a future. If things like Safe Doctor exist, we can collect that data that you're afraid we don't have.
Josh.
As I keep saying, it's a technology we have to leverage. Then we have to decide which parts of the job you will let AI handle and which parts you will let human handle. But one day I'll build an AI-enabled hospital in Ghana.
That only AI, no humans. Doc?
I would want to, but people expect me to talk a bit about Safe Doctor. I just want to mention that it's not only video. You have 3 options. You could do text, you could do audio, or you could do video consultation.
Great.
And then I also want to add that we are coming up. There's something new which is in the pipeline now. We call it Call Angels. Basically, it's an ambulance hailing app. You know, unfortunately, we've had a sad story where we lost senior people because lack of the proper emergency system. This app also works just like Uber sort of thing. So the hospital, the various hospitals, and even individuals, if you are in distress, an accident scene or whatever, you could be able to just call an ambulance at an ambulance near you. We are not, because we don't have resources now, we are pulling ambulances. Various hospitals have agreed pulling ambulances together. And then there will be an ambulance, well equipped with well-trained paramedics that will be there to ferry you to the nearest hospital. It's linked with communication system where we even communicate with the hospitals. They know they will be expecting you when you get there.
We're looking forward to this app.
Simply, I'll just say the unexamined life is not worth living. AI has become part of life, right? Technology has become part of life. Let's examine it and harness the benefits. But if you want to ride a tiger, you need to know how to saddle it. Otherwise, you can't get down. So let's be also, should I say, justifiably cautious, and then whilst we
ride a tiger
progressively. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much, Mr. Notedua, Dr. Amegletor, Joshua, Winston, and Kwekwananse, and all our callers and those who sent messages. Thanks everyone, and we will be with you again next week. My name is Kobe Spiky Nkrumah, and this has been Geek Squad.